This type of Yerushalmi Shabbos in the article Oz V'Hor Edition Radaf Mem Beis Amid Aleph, the two dots, which is 5 lines down. Tani Ein Yosim Beistema, and this is 17 lines up from the bottom of Lamed Dalid Amid Aleph in the Vilna. Tani Ein Yosim Beistema. So in the Brisa, we don't go out Istema. The Korban says Mitznevas Katana, a small hat. La'achar shekoshim Soros Rosha. Bikista, after she ties the hairs of her head and covers it. Yesh Soros Ktanos, the small hair she yotzi in chutz l'kshurim. The small hairs that come out of the knots, v'ogdason, and she wraps them together. The tachlis kishurim underneath these knots, I think it's nefetz kitzara by a short hat, being creates stama. It's called stama. Well, what are the three things you say about it? Ain ba mishum kilayim, because it's made in like felt. It's not woven, and therefore it doesn't have any issue of kilayim, because it's not woven, sewn, which is necessary in order for something to be considered to be kilayim. It can become tummy to mitzuras for the same reason, because it says beggared by the tzaras, and it says we learn how beggared from kilayim. It's got to be made into strands. Made into thread, spun into thread, and woven or sewn, which these are not. And the Shabbos, you can't wear it out on Shabbos because evidently you might take it off. Evidently, it's not required to cover your hair in public, so therefore you want to come take it up and show it around. After the Churban, the Beis Mikdash, they decree that women should not go out with kalos. Brides should not go out with elaborate headpieces. This headpiece is not considered to be a headpiece which kalos should not wear on account of Zechel Churban. V'lo be'ir shazam. Should not go out with a city of gold. Rav Yehuda Markon Yerushalayim did have. This is Yerushalayim shel zahav. A figure, an ornament made out of gold, which looks like Yerushalayim. But in the Keser, Prosh took taklin. It's a crown of gold, and there are different girsos here to understand what that exactly it is. Dorach has girsa prostkulin, and there are various different girsos, and Yerushalmi Shabbos suggests it might be krusustaplin, which is a golden crown. And Novus Rabbi in fact, brings down pretty good base that I guess Rabbi Kiva made a keser shozav for his wife. So keser shozav and yer shozav, according to this understanding, are the same thing. Perhaps it looks like a city. It has ridges on top, looks like buildings. So maybe that's what makes it look shozav. Ma'aser Kiva sh'asla ishto yer shozav. Ma'aser Kiva they made for his wife yer shozav, either the ornamental Yerushalayim or like this golden city crown. Chamtei Itzaser Gamliel, so the wife of Gamliel saw it. He's kind of punch. She was jealous. And Gamliel's wife got this elaborate ornament. Asas Vamas Kumi Bala. She came and told her husband. Amarle said, Hachain Habes Abidli, Kamada Havia Avdalei. If you had done for me like she did for him, that was a Zamnim Kliasa the Resha. She used to sell the braids of her hair. And give him the hair, give him the money from the proceeds of the sale. In order to be kiva should learn Torah. So had you done that, that was your nefesh, and I would have gotten you Yerushalayim shel zahav. Talmudim, we learn over there. Shnayim mishem Rabbi Eliezer. This is Nedulas Perek Bey's Mishnah Zayin. So two people said in the name of Rabbi Lezer, Yotze Isha B'ir Shel Zav. That's one thing. A woman can go out in a city of gold on Shabbos. The second thing, which is brought down here in the Shnei Nuschos, is Mafricha Yonim Psulim Min Edus. People who race doves are puzzled to test if they're barred from giving testimony in court. Obviously, not considered to be valid witnesses. A price of Tanya Meir Chayv. It says woman was out goes out the Yerushalmi Shabbos, the Zir Shabbos on Shabbos is chayav chatos. Bein Meir Rabbanan Nicha. So according to Meir and Rabbanan in our Mishnah, okay, understand Meir could say chayav and Rabbanan could say potter. Meir chayav v'chochem poaching. Bein Rabbi Lezer Rabbanan Nicha. Machlokes Rabbi Lezer Rabbanan also fine Nicha. It's okay. Rabbi Lezer Matir Chayim Mosim. It's not extreme machlokes. Rabbi Lezer it's okay. Chayim mutter. Our Lezer Matir Chayim Aser. Bein Meir Rabbi Lezer Kasha. Where do we have such extreme machlokes? And one could say completely mutter, the other could say chayiv daraisa. Rabbi Lezer mechayiv, Rabbi Lezer matir. So I knew the Barsisa Mishum Lezer, the kol makom she'amar lo teitze b'yatsa cheves chatos asur latzeis mo'chatzer. So according to the Ephraim, this is an answer to the question. They say it's not a pull machlokas. Echai Rabbi Meir is mechayiv in Mishus Rabim, but the machlokas here is about a chatzer, and there. We have the Ray Meir says in Shus Rabim it's chayav chatos, but in Chater it's only also like Rabbanan and Rebbe. As it says in the Chater it's mutter, so it's not a polar machlokas because everybody could agree that in Shus Rabim it's chayav chatos. The question is what the status is in the Chater. Okay, and that we could have Rabbi Meir could agree. Chater, that's the Ephraim says you can agree that in the Chater it would be Pater Abo Asur, not a Chiyuv D'Oraisa. Yeah. And Let's just matter the Chater. So as he says, I mean, but see some of the let's come show me lotate say me yotzes chayav chatos in Mishus Rabim Asura let's by Chater according to Meir and according to Rabbanan. Come show me lotate me yotzes ena chayav chatos, then if there's a place that they said shouldn't go out, and if she goes out, she's not chayav chatos, which is the shita of Rabbi Eliezer, and therefore he holds in Rishus Rabim. It's not going to be chayav chatos. It's going to be also. It's going to be moida. It's going to be chayav chatos, and therefore he's matir mutes l'teis b'chotzer. She's permitted to go out in the chotzer. Okay, so that is the machlokas Rishus Rabim would not be a polar machlokas either. Right? Meir would say chayav, and Eliezer would say potter. And therefore, the Chotzer, they have the small chlokas. Rabbi Meir says potter, and Rabbi says mutter. Rabbanan would hold potter in both. I mean, potter would also in both. Potter also is just a rabbim, and also in Chotzer, it's never going to be a chiyuv chatos, but it's never going to be mutter either. Our Mishnah tells us this: it's not going to be a chiyuv chatos in Rishus Rabim. That's why a kovan pear nachrish you can wear in the chatzir. Rabbi Lai b'shem Hashem Bechia said, "I feel makom shem ulote same yotzei never cheves chatos." This is like we just said, Rabbanan hold. Even the place where they said if she goes to Rishus Rabim, she's not be chayav chatos. Still asura let's say, but the chatzir there's still cases where she's also to wear it in the chatzir. He's saying as a overall principle, he's saying that there are cases like that where it's also in both, and every Tachshit obviously has a different parameter. There was a whole discussion to Yerushalmi about the parameters, but we'll leave it for now. So in amen. So now we say said a man he doesn't show stuff off, so that's okay. He can wear stuff out, and we're not concerned he's going to take stuff off and show it to people and carry it for amos. So nishmina me'ado. Let's start from here. Gamliel Rebbe Yard l'tay b'tor chatzero. Gamliel went out in his chatzar, b'Shabbos and v'tech shel b'yado, and he had a golden key on his hand. V'garu b'yishu chaverov, and his friends rebuked him. Mishum tachshit, that he was wearing this jewelry. Adamar asui l'shem tachshit aser. So if it's made for a tachshit, it's aser evidently because you're going to actually you could take it off, even a man, and show it around. Adamar asui l'kach l'kach, and this tell us that if it's something which is made for both as a tachshit and for functionality, because this is also a key, it's also as well. And a damra echad ish ve'echad isha, that even a man it's a problem. And this tells even place where they said don't go out, but if you go out, you're not chayav chatos because he's wearing it. It's derech malbush. She's not actually carrying it. It was attached. It was a ring on his finger. Asura lets us bow chutzah still now to go out within the chutzah. So this is like what we said before, according to Rabbanan, that there are things can be. It's not necessarily anything which is only stuff which is chayav chatas just a rabbim are going to be also the chutzner. No, there are even things which are not going to be chayav chatas just rabbim, still going to be also the chutzner as well. Yerushalmi Shabbos brings down a couple of Pshat. There's Gemara from one of the Ba'amar and one from the Ritva. The one we say is basically from the Ritva that this ring which is also a key. It's going to use to open use a box. You know how to go out like shara tachshitim, right? So it tells us that all the things which you just learned. Ba'amar is a different shot, but we'll leave that for now. Okay, says the Mishnah. Lo yitzeh ish b'sandal masumar. A man should not go out with a shoe which has nails in it. Lo b'yachin, now with an individual shoe. If he doesn't have a wound on his foot. Lo b'tefillin, person should not go out with tefillin on Shabbos. Lo kamiyah, and not with a amulet. But if it's not written by or put together by an expert. Lo b'shurya, nor with armor. Lo b'kasta, nor with helmet. Lo b'gafayim, nor with metal boots, which are boots for warfare. The yotzei no chayav chatos. He goes out with all these things. Obviously, it's derech malbush. It's not chayav chatos. Okay, there are this sugya of silent musumar is also in the Bavli, but it's significantly different here in the Yerushalmi. Ninema goes to silent musumar. Why they make exer on silent musumar? Yeshmim, some say it would say shu roos es rosho umapilos. That it was very the Yerushalmi the Pnei Moshe wants to bring down the Bavli and then put the Yerushalmi like grafted on. If you take the Pnei Moshe, Yeshua show you Roy Mr. Rosho. They was Mapilo Shasik Zeraisa. So the time the creek. I'm the comment. The Chabayim in East they were hidden and in a cave, Rosh Hashanah Sumar, and they saw the head of the sand, the studded. I like calling it the studded sandal. Perhaps it's not the right term, but it sounds good. So they thought the enemies are coming to them, and they pushed each other. And we told and as a result of that chak, women would miscarry. So he takes the siege, the being lying and hiding, and puts it together with this idea of Nashima Mapilos. But the super meaning is that women saw this and were afraid. It was a frightening kind of sandal. That they would hear it's this sound it would make, and they would they'd be frightened and they'd miscarry. V'yeshim, some say, like this, like the Babli, when they saw that somebody's sand got mixed up, the direction it turned around looked like they were coming into the cave, was exiting the cave. I forget the exact scenario, but anyway, then they all started packing deeper into the cave because they thought the enemy was coming, and as a result, they're wearing these studded sandals, and they killed each other more than the enemy killed them. What's the difference between these different cases? Hadusta, that this is the Air puts it that has a sharp nail, but on the bottom, not on the top, so you can't see it. So you can't see it, so people are not going to see it, and women are not going to see him miscarry, but they might hear him miscarry, and certainly you can still inflict wounds on each other. Mapilos, they would hear it and they get miscarry. Ocean or they would. Sorry, I escaped. Mapilos, they wouldn't see it; it would be underneath. I guess like cleats. Mandamar shayu shomos kolo mapilos, so that they would hear it and they would miscarry. Oshu no chakim zebizeh, and they would crush each other, bargain zeh and kill each other. Also, it's still also. So v'lo b'shas hashma gazru. So at least according to this last opinion, we don't graft the opinions together like in Pnei Moshe. At least according to the last opinion, was it not b'shas hashmad when there was persecutions? Came and shavar hashmad yemut. Once the shema passage should be permitted. Loma based in beita. No, based in not come out. They're not cancel it. And once you need a basin, it's either that basin itself or another basin, which is God of Chachma Minya, which is greater in stature and in wisdom, to come and override the great Zera of the original basin. Mata feel b'chol. So okay, so we should also even on a weekday to wear such sandals. So the Gemara says, "Lav urchi debar noshel meheavily train sanli chalukulu chad b'shabsa." People don't normally have two shoes, two sandals, one for weekdays and one for Shabbos. And therefore, once you ask on Shabbos, they won't have weekdays on weekdays either. So it's two Bishleim here brings down I'm a Avram. So some race on basically called the base. Let's cut the name Ari. The Yachli Banu Kama Sheish Lafilu Chaluk. The person's supposed to switch everything on Shabbos, all his clothing, even his undershirt. Kamanos Lafilu Masha Ein Yerabachutz. Even that which is can't see outside. Mashmi said that Kapanim Man Alim Yesh Lachliv. So it sounds like shoes you should switch as well. That's doesn't sound way like here. Yesh Ma'ishai Kamad Lab Urche. They say Yerushalmi is saying, okay, it's not normal because I guess most people could afford it. They say the Tzitz HaKodesh, Hirsch Michal Shapiro, the great tzaddik Yerushalmi, was so poor. The only thing he could afford to switch from weekdays to Shabbos was his shoelaces. So he couldn't switch the shoes, only the shoelaces. So it's appropriate to switch shoes. But Bavli Kuv Chavtes Amnal, the Imkar goes basically Kachmin only in the Raglov. Okay, that's not. I don't think that was about Shabbos. Anyway, he says, "I'm sorry if you're going to basically in the Ben Chashvu." We see that. I guess he's not saying about Shabbos. We see it's significant. It came by the Yesh Lachim Shabbos, so it's best to switch shoes on Shabbos. You can afford it, but I guess people could not afford it back then. Or perhaps since they're wearing sandals anyway, perhaps it's not like our shoes, which are more elaborate. Anyway, Tani Tolola Matlis Milamaton Mutar. If you put a you sew a patch on top of the the nails, then it's okay. It's maton whether that girsa is necessarily that would be if it's on the bottom. Not sure. I guess the nails on the side. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe the word mulatto is not necessary. Anyway, if you cover it up, it's okay. Rabbi Ben Shmuel Havas Ragle Shaka is his leg got worn down on account of, I guess it was very raw, on account of a wound which he got, and he needed for somehow other than K. They needed some way to studded sand. I guess it gives more support in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's like arch support. I don't know. So and they made him a sandal which had the nails inside, the nails protruding from it, but was covered up. So it was not a problem, as we just said. Kamas ben Hubo, how many nails should it have? The Karmel says Kamas ben Hubo v'yem mutla, it says, but in Illinois they're only for decoration. How many nails are okay? And they could cover them with the fabric. It says, and he says he likes the first shot better because that seems to be a Midrash Rabbah and Koheles. So Abiyacham Chamisha Chumshe Torah, 5, like 5 books of the Torah. Shiva Uchiyamecha Adavecha. It says the Karmel explains Steve Barzel Min Choshes Min Alecha Pasuk Sabracha Uchiyamecha Adavecha with a Rash Hachi Barzel Shmin Alecha Yekiyamecha. The amount of metal permitted in your shoes is like your days, which is 7 days. Nagi Rabbanan Kadod Rabbi Chanina. The custom was like Rabbi Chanina. Darsh Rabbi Yaakov Shem Chanina Tisha. There was another Darsh Rabbi Chanina 9. Rabbi Yosi Shlosha Asar Bezeh Chadar Zeh Bezeh. He would put 13 and 11. He didn't want to put, according to Karmel, he didn't put 12 and 12, so there shouldn't be zugos. Shouldn't be an even number. So comedian Mishmaros. It's like the number of Mishmaros to Beis Hamikdash. Kumas Meros Netuim. And the parameters for this is coils to the base, kumas Meros Netuim, like nails which are embedded, literally plugged in. Ma, so we do dash mishmaros with the samach is mishmaros with a shin. Ma mishmaros chavdav af masmein chav dalit. Just like the mishmaros in the basic mikdash of the Kohanim were 24, so too allowed to have up to 24 nails, and still be mutter. I never actually, I don't recall ever seeing this, but I once had the thought that look, 24 is a lot of nails. I was thinking that maybe that it's so many nails, it's no longer a problem anymore because they're so close together that they're not going to actually inflict any damage. So it was 5 or 7 or 9, but not and then up to then 24, but not in the middle, right? Too few nails is okay. Too many nails is also okay. So the middle is not okay. Okay, that brings us to Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. So we'll stop here.